Get started with Commissioner's Court this morning.
Collaboration Center. Please enter a conference.
We'll get started. This is the Commissioner's Court meeting Monday, November 25th, 9 o'clock here at the courthouse. Please stand for a prayer and a pledge. Commissioner Ward.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day you give us. We thank you, Lord, for how you bless us with lives we enjoy in this great nation. Lord, we ask your blessings upon this, our county, upon our state, and also upon our nation. Lord, we pray for a spirit of unity. And Lord, that you will guide and direct. We pray that we'll be one nation under God, and our eyes will be focused on you. We ask this morning that you grant us wisdom and knowledge to carry forth the business of this day. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this morning we'll call meeting to order. Noting that Commissioner Barrett is absent today in attendance. With that being said, we do have a quorum. Our departmental reports next. Kinney County Agent Report, nothing this morning. Agent Center, nothing. County Attorney. Auditor, nothing for us. Clerk, okay. Community Center, you see we got the parking lot finally paved on it, so that's pretty much wrapping up our paving project for that running. Gail was there this weekend, I think it was pretty successful. Don't believe it had any restroom issues, I haven't heard anything, so. Hospital this morning, nobody. Detention Center, Fort Miller.
ADP is 420. The count is this morning is 418.
Or what?
418.
418. Okay. Thanks, sir. EMS, Nick, this morning, look. Grant updates. Have one attachment this morning from the grant ladies.
Good morning. So, splash pad, you have an email there from Mr. Meyer. Yes, sir. Actually, the son did the inspection. This is Dad. Anyway, they are they'd like to know if they can come back and look at the restrooms just outside of the swimming pool area. There is a fee of $400, but if we can get those in compliance, then we wouldn't have to open up to the swimming pool. And so that's just an update. Not sure if.
So we need the architect to basically.
Yes, sir. And so Mr. Neiman was included in the email from Mr. Meyer. So in hopes that if you approve this, then he will be here. If he's still working with Peterson Building, or if he can come down. He's in New Valley, correct? So maybe both of them can look at the restrooms.
The last time I had the architect, he indicated that he was waiting for confirmation from Mr. Meyer. I don't know the status.
Right, and I think we have to approve the $400 fee before they can come down and look at those restrooms.
No, it's just
So maybe at next commissioner Correct, yes, sir.
And that means
December 9th. Is that correct?
yes,
No?
they,
December 8th, sorry.
no, that's not possible. It is December 9th? Yes, it is. Okay. All right, put that on the agenda for the 9th.
Perfect.
Thank you, ma'am.
Another update on grants is Mr. Nick, EMS Director, City Administrator, Mrs. Hobbs and I met with the new USDA representative that will be moving from Rio Grande Valley to Uvalde to service our area. So we met with him, there's still, resolution is still ongoing. No one has received USDA funding, but we're on that list for the ambulance and for the skid steer, for the road and bridge, okay? Another update is West El Paso Street. While it's been paid, the last thing we need to do is the drainage work, and that will begin next week. And that's when concrete will come in and we'll do those valley gutters for the different crossings. Any questions on that? We're still closing out the booster station project on 2804. We did bill for $30,675 for administrative fees. $5,000 remain in, at the end will be the final payment. They are going to keep $3,000 of those dollars because there was a discrepancy of more than 15%. So when we first amended the application, we changed the route from 2804 to Spring to Lackey Alley, Coffin Street, and then Spring. That is more than 15% variance. So that there is a penalty there for the performance statement not being exact. And we just wanted you to know that. That will come out of admin. Any questions on grants? Okay.
And I guess our TDM application is still.
It's still moving. Still moving. Yes, sir.
And to clarify for everyone, that's for generators.
Generators. Yes, that is generators, like 6 different generators. Almost $700,000 that are being reviewed at this time. And FEMA.
And we've included Fort Guatemala in.
Yes, they wanted some generators, yes.
In the city.
The city, and county. City, county, and Fort Park money. This one. Questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Good. Any healthcare this morning, County Judge's office? Nothing, just a piece of board, library, road and bridge, sheriff. There you go.
Good morning.
Morning.
I don't have very much status quo in the jail. We've got down from 10 to 8 over in Medina County, 2 of which are females. Of the 8, 7 are locals. Out of the detention center, we said there's 418 in jail right now. Those 200 happen to be gang members. 418 out there, there's 100. I can't remember the time. I just like to get into that. 127 or 172 have immigration detained. So, of course, that's what that facility was designed for federal prisoners. That's what's going on out there. We're looking at doing, on the local level, we're looking at doing some training with Alberta. Police level crime weapons. In the event we ever have to go out there, we're looking at some additional training and additional equipment for the burners. In the event we ever have to go out there and assist them with some type of weapon control. But I'll bring that up next month because we won't be able to send anybody out to be trained stuff until January. Other than that, it's status quo. We do have 3 vehicles down because of accidents. One was a deer strike. One of our deputies hit another vehicle, and we had the incident that the strike with some of the from DPS trooper hit the vehicle, pushed it in the office. No injuries to any of those money for bearing replacements. In all of those. Other than that, the vehicles are in good shape, other than the accidents, it's just normal wear and tear. Any questions?
Thank you, Sheriff. Tax assessment this morning. On treasury report, there's a treasury report for you this morning. We're going to item 4 this morning, deliberate, consider the action of the following items. 4A is point 4, discuss and approve and disapprove the sale of 33 firearms that were recently awarded to the Sheriff's Office from recent criminal cases. Dury's guns, offer made for the 33 firearms, $6,425.
These are 33 firearms that have been awarded to us from court that have either been abandoned or been involved in human smuggling or some other criminal activity. Dury's guns came in, looked them over, and they've offered $6,125 for all 33 firearms.
All right. Motion made by Commissioner Dawson, second by Commissioner Tabo. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the sale of 33 firearms to Dury's guns from the Sheriff's Office, the amount of $6,425, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Unanimous. All right, item 4B this morning is discuss possible action creating an online Amazon account for Kinney County Sheriff's Office.
The reason behind this is more for the county versus the Sheriff's Office. We have initially is we have a shredder over the office that requires a special type of oil to keep the gears lubricated. We can get it on Amazon. It's kind of expensive oil, but it keeps the thing lubricated, it keeps up the warranty. It's $4 a gallon. If we go to the retailer, to Office Depot or whatever, it runs us about $6 a quart plus shipping. We get it on Amazon for $4 a quart. We order today, here tomorrow, no shipping. So we save a little bit of money on that. The big thing is, one of our license plate readers has solar batteries to keep the thing running. The batteries are starting to go dead. If we order them on Amazon, we get them for $13.25 for all 4 batteries, $1,345. We get them for all 4 batteries, free shipping. We order today, they're here in 48 hours. If we go to Napa to get the same batteries, it's $2,100 plus $175 shipping, and it's a week to 2 weeks out. So if we set up an account, office or the auditor's office where they have total control over it, I think we can end up saving some money on this. Of course, it's all credit card transactions, but shipping's free, cost is reduced, especially on these batteries. We save $700, I think it's a win-win situation.
You can actually set up a business account and they'll bill us, so we don't have to put it on a credit card, and it will go to our proper PO where they would place the order, it would go through, it would be approved, make sure it's in line with the budget, and then you can pay for it. You can only set up one account per tax ID number, so, but you can set up sub-users, so you would have like a master account, then you can set up one for the sheriff's department, the library, nutrition, whatever you wanted to do.
But if there's something we need to take a look at, maybe a little bit later, the batteries are still good for right now, so we'll probably got another 30, 60 days. You know, just out of those batteries that are in there, but they're gonna be dying really quick, especially with the days getting shorter, and the amount of light that they're receiving, they're gonna die a little quick. But they've been in there for almost 2 years.
All right, so can we put this back on December the 9th agenda? To authorize the
I think we do December 9th, that way we have a little more information, Ms. Johnson, to look, give us some, I don't want to think that other than.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that, we used to use that.
All right, we'll entertain a motion to table this to December the 9th for action in to open a county Amazon business account.
Oh,
So moved by Commissioner Cobb, second by Commissioner Ward. County business. Any further discussion?
What more information you need to, so that you have this account?
Well, I'll have to set it up and then get the billing all set so that they bill us, so, I mean, it's really not gonna take a lot of information.
Set up out of the,
But we'll get that, authorize that to be done. Between now and then, she can have it all.
December 9th, 2 weeks away.
Yeah, we get it knocked out. So, all those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carried unanimously. Thank you. So we'll set that for the agenda on the 9th. Authorize that. 4C this morning, discuss, approve, and disapprove adding donation line to Kinney County Deed Center budget. We talked about this at the last meeting. Her donation money and stuff, just where she can see it and on the budget. So I'll entertain a motion to add that line back. So moved by Commissioner Ward, second by Commissioner Pavo. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried unanimously. 4D this morning. Discuss, approve, disapprove Kinney County paying 6 pay periods, taking into account 30 hours of unpaid holiday time for driver custodian, 2 from November the 15th to February 7th, totaling $2,368.96 from countywide extra line help. This is the discussion we had last time on the nutrition driver. This is the grant money, correct? TDA grant money. To cover that period, but then it'd be refunded back from the TDA grant money once that grant is awarded. So, well, yeah, the grant money will repay this back. Remember the discussion we had last, but we didn't know the exact amount of the pay periods and everything. So the pay periods were those 6 pay periods from the 15th through the 7th and stuff. So moved by Commissioner Dotson, second by Commissioner Pavo. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. Yes. 4E this morning, discuss and approve and disapprove resolution support for county motor fuel tax exemption. This is proposed this year in the state legislative sessions that are coming up. And it's just a resolution that the counties in Texas are the arm of the state government responsible for the operation and management of many various state government programs as required or authorized by the state law. Whereas Texas counties provide essential state services to the Constitution at the local level, which are fully or potentially supported with funds dispersed by the state of Texas pursuant to the state appropriations process, and whereas Texas County provided emergency management services to the citizens of the state of Texas and serve as first responders during disasters, to clear roads and provide life-saving rescue and recovery support to local, regional, state, and federal agencies. And whereas the rising cost of fuel costs have a significant impact on county budgets, and whereas the state of Texas has authorized a motor fuel tax exemption for volunteer fire departments which partner with Texas counties to provide life-saving fire response and mitigation to citizens of Texas. And whereas the state of Texas has authorized a motor fuel tax exemption for public schools for motor fuel tax, which helps reduce the expenses of local school districts and alleviate the impact of local school property taxes to the citizens of Texas. And whereas exempting Texas motor fuel taxes for Texas counties will reduce tax term in the state and further alleviate the impact of local county property taxes on the citizens. Therefore, be resolved, Kinney County Commissioners Court does hereby resolve foregoing reasons it is in the best interest of Texas counties and their taxpayers to support and favor passage of legislation that exempts counties from certain motor fuel taxes. That's been asked for us to adopt this resolution to support an exemption for fuel taxes at the county level. So moved by Commissioner Ward, second by Commissioner Dodson. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Judge, there's also a resolution that actually is out there that we want to certainly support, and that is for state funding for rural EMS departments. And that's the part of the recent conference. And it seems to be gaining a lot of support because there are many that are underfunded, and in small counties that can afford to provide the amount of EMS service that the demand warrants.
Okay. I'll be watching for it.
So we need to be aware of that and certainly participate in that effort. The reason being is that as travelers go through small counties, statewide, we're finding more and more that with needs that they might have, accidents or just health needs, that service is oftentimes unavailable. So that was a degree of support that was voiced for the state to help rural EMS departments.
Sure.
That was certainly good.
I'll watch this. All right. Item F this morning, discuss and approve and disapprove the issuance of a letter to David Conoly Ranch that requests clarification of certain easement granted to Kinney County in the City of Brackettville dated June 16, 1961, and recorded under volume A, page 39 of Kinney County Deed Records. Do we want to move that to executive session?
I think so.
Okay. We'll move item F to executive session to discuss with our attorney. Brent, you okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Item G this morning, discuss and review possible action to approve prioritization of flood mitigation projects for Kinney County as listed in the attachment with changes and additions. Mr. Gutierrez.
Good morning again. Do you have this list in front of you? Okay, so we basically created this list based on our last commissioners court meeting and the ideas that we shared. So just 7 projects. We listed them in this order because this is what made sense logistically. You want to acquire property before you do any type of work along the creek. So
In the city limits.
within the city limits, yes. And of course, if there is funding available, for example, TxDOT has a grant that we're looking into for number 4 to update bridges that cross the creek channel in the city of Brackettville. I know that this is in a certain order, but if we get funding or find funding that will address one of these, of course, we're not going to let that opportunity. So here are the projects in the order we are presenting them to you for approval or discussion. If you want to move these around, that is totally up to you. But we need to get something done.
And I think we need to be candid with those that are here today, that Fort Clark is not in this at all. This does not include Fort Clark in any form or fashion. What we had stated at the end of the, which I did, personally stated at the end of the last Commissioners Court meeting when we discussed prioritizing our application for funding, was to focus in on the watershed dams. Reason being, the NRCS had done their research and their evaluation of the dams, and that they were in need of topsoil and they were in need of grass seed. And we have to go forward with that, and that's going to be expensive to move enough topsoil up on top to take care of the maintenance needs for that and to reestablish grass cover. The next item that was the ownership of the easements and the spillways around them. There's been a considerable discussion, and this is basically the same discussion we had at the close of the last meeting. Unfortunately, there were a lot of untruths disseminated, but we need to clarify ownership so that we can maintain and be in possession of those spillways. And so the need for property acquisition and clarification would be pertaining to the watershed dams. There's a need for improved fencing, and the fencing would keep livestock from getting on the dams. And of course, the erosion that's taken place over 60 years has been considerable. And so we're aware of this, and with the evaluation of NRCS, it's really incumbent upon the city and the county to do something to maintain the integrity of those structures. The need for, in the city, there's a lot of huge potholes. It doesn't rain. It's subject to, it's a mosquito nest, and it's just an unhealthy situation for the community. We had those that lived next to it that testified in a public hearing that they would appreciate any help that we could offer to alleviate the drainage problem and not have the potholes. And so, again, specifically, that was what was said at the close of the meeting last time. And inevitably, other stories were told. And unfortunately, and that creates division in the community unnecessarily. What we want to do is address needs. And if, for instance, we backed away from Fort Clark months ago, and yet that seems to always be brought up again by those who have specious reasons for doing so. But we do need to be serious about maintaining the watershed dams, maintaining their integrity, doing the best we can to address the drainage issues in the city. And I think we gave the boundaries ending at Highway 90, ending there, and going no further.
Yes, sir.
And so for those who may be here today that appeared wanting to disseminate other information, never let the truth get in the way of a good story, is a famous quote. I don't mind reiterating that. My phone is open. People call me, and I'm open at all times to discuss and speak truth. But this effort that we see on the part of, and we know who you are, to disseminate false information is destructive. It's divisive to the community, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop. There's too many positives going on, and I never hear anybody get on Facebook or wherever social media is and say, look at the good that's happening. Hey, that's great. So why can't we be positively oriented? Why do we always have to thrive on negative and untruths? And somebody needs to address it, folks. I don't mind doing it a bit. I'll do it personally, I'll do it publicly, whatever, but it needs to stop. It's counterproductive. We're in a small community. There's a lot of needs, and be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. If you figure you're going to gain some political momentum from disseminating untruths, that's ill-gotten gain. It never works. And so I want to clarify. And if anybody today wants to stand up and argue the point or debate the point, you're welcome to do that. But we've closed the doors on anything happening at Fort Park. Did the rest have anything you want to say? Have I spoken and represented the court correctly?
Yes, sir.
Anybody got any question on that? Go ahead.
I want to tell you thank you.
I can't hear you.
I want to say thank you that you literally just said positivity and the negativity has to stop. I have read it and seen it and hate it, and you cannot have a community if it's always negative. And that has been my goal since I got to Fort Clark as the general manager. And I have been working with the city to have that positivity. And to have somebody else say exactly what I've been fighting since I've been there for 7 months is wonderful to hear. And that's what I would like us to all focus on instead of the negativity all the time. And thank you for that.
Anyone else? Don't reserve it for social media or telephone conferences. You know. I'd like to go ahead and, if I may, and say that this Commissioner Precinct 4, which at least 50% of the fort is within those boundaries, I'm here constantly about help the fort, help the fort, help the fort. The county does nothing to help the fort, but on 3 major occasions, all were rejected. You need to know that as well. And they were considerable offers. We'd like to help. What would you like to do? The only one that ever attended one of our workshops was the former manager, who I know is not popular at all, but I have to state he was there. Okay. None of the board of directors, previous or current, attended a workshop. Didn't get the information straight from the horse's mouth. Had no interest. Don't blame someone who listens and is receptive to the cry and then vilify that person for trying. That's the way it is, folks. Look in the mirror. If you're guilty of that, it needs to stop. And so, you know, I don't mind saying it publicly. I'm not shy. I don't have to hide behind a computer and have private conversations to incite people to be angry and to try to divide. We know that the easiest way to conquer is by dividing. We don't need that in this community. We need to work together. And I don't mind a statement. And please, some of you sitting out there have a lot to say in other forums. Say it today. Be honest. Say it today.
All right, the prioritization projects that we have listed here, thank you, Commissioner Ward, are acquisition of the property that's needed, easements and ownership of property around the watershed dams, include fencing and spillways. 3 is work on utility preliminaries, so if the channel is ready for upstream work on the north side of Highway 90 to the east and west dams on 674. Update the bridge. Number 4 is update the bridges, raise those bridges, those street crossings that cross the creek channel in the city of Brackettville. Number 5 is update Lost Morris Creek channel within the city of Brackettville below the east and west dams on Highway 674 to Highway 90. Construct retention ponds below the watershed dams to help manage the flow of water. Basically what that's going to be will be doing. Suggested updates for watershed dams from NRCS most recent inspection dams, spillways, and drainage updates to our brush control, the topsoil, and the possibility to raise heights of the dams as part of what the recommendations are, what the studies that was done.
If we miss something, we can add it and then bring it back, but we need to approve these pretty soon.
The dams should be number 1, I would think.
You think the dams need to be number 1? Okay, we can change that, most certainly.
And this is available. Any of you want a copy of it? This is encompasses everything we're talking about. Please ask for a copy. We'll be glad to share it. And disseminate that if you will, please.
And please know we will not do anything to the dams without NRCS being
Yes,
involved.
yes. But they're considered a high risk.
Correct.
All right, so basically the adoption of this prioritization project, going off of Commissioner Dodson's suggestions that basically number 7 would become number 1, and everything would fall after that. You'd be okay. Okay.
I'll make the motion approving the bids in my precinct. I'm in precinct 3, and all of this is in my precinct. Anyone have any questions for me? You can catch me in the harbor before after hour. I'll answer you one of them.
Okay. Anybody else, any further discussion? All right, so the motion is to approve the prioritization flood mitigation projects for Kinney County as amended. With number 7 becoming number 1. So I'll entertain a motion to accept, to approve these. That was your motion from Commissioner Dodson. Second by Commissioner Ward. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried, unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Could I just ask, Judge, does anybody have anything positive to say? You see things going on in the community? Any positives? Street paving?
There's one back there, Commissioner Ward.
Thank you.
And that's kind of come to an end now, the street paving has. We'll address some more of that maybe later on. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just gonna say that I have a great relationship with Norma and the mayor, and we've been working very hard in the last 7 months to work with the school, to work with the community, and I think that we are moving in the right direction, and I feel really good. I have nothing but positivity to say about Norma and the mayor. I think they've been amazing to work with, and I think we're gonna continue to have a strong relationship.
We need more of that.
Yes, we do.
And as a grant writer, I just want to let you know that whenever we see a grant for Fort Clark Springs, we share it with them. And so we've had some positive feedback from Ms. Shane.
So as a representative of Fort Clark Mud, we've become more active in looking at the things that we can do. We've gone to start through the state to put together a reserve study for our assets and understand how those work within the county. One of those assets is the road system that's there. And so hopefully with the help of grant writers and some of the other things that we're putting together so that we know what we have, we're going to be able to bring more to the table as far as how we can contribute to the possibility of putting things together in the city. One thing I would ask is that we be included on the Road and Bridge Committee. I know that there's been some active, the ability to get funding within the city limits through the county, and there may be some opportunities based on some of the services provided through the district to look at further grants. So we'd like to be included in that in the next time that committee meets. Thank you all for all your work.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Claudette Longoria, and the positive thing we have going to unveil to the community is that we've identified 13 cemeteries, and half of them are not listed. There's no mapping, there's no tombstone engraving listing. So what we're doing, we're compiling with a bunch of community members and the local churches and the agencies like yourself and the appraisal district to take markers of those headstones, mappings, to cross-reference them so that we can have a database, historical legacy and listings, but also to pass it on not only within our community, being Spofford, City of Brackettville, Fort Clark, and the county itself, but throughout the state and federally. And right now we're 400 veterans that are interned here and growing. So in saying that, we've contacted Reefs Across America. It's a national organization that honors our veterans. during the holidays, and they have elected to choose us as a location throughout Kinney County. So we'll be releasing that, the judge and I, to get everybody involved. We have 3 on the support club that people are unaware of, and then there's the remaining and growing around the county, so 10 and growing. So if you would like to participate, this is going to be something to honor all of our veterans, to acknowledge and recognize the beloved ones that are here in the community, but also I think during the holidays it will bring togetherness, and maybe this is a light in what has been going on through the storm within the county, that we can kind of get together to honor those who have chosen to serve their life for our country and our state.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tim, I don't know if this is the kind of thing you're asking for people to chime in about, but I think it's very positive. Last month, there was a $50,000 grant approved for Southwest Research Institute in San Antonio to do some focused work on Kinney County hydrology. There also are some very significant conversations going on that would relate to eco-tourism, history tourism, that would be, I believe, very, very beneficial to Brackett County and, of course, Fort Clark, too. So those are conversations, but I think have moved to a pretty significant level and would be very, very meaningful to the economy of the county as a whole.
Thank you, Chris.
Yes, sir.
And sorry, I forgot 2 other things. So one, I'd like to thank the court for the 33% increase in the historical commission budget. That's very positive. There's a lot that we can do with that, especially in promoting the historical assets and the ecotourism that's coming through, because they just happen to be next to each other. Also, later this week, we will have the CEO of UMC coming down to look at how they can further their efforts here. We do now have a full-time doctor and a PA, so hopefully you'll see, I think you have seen a greater involvement from UMC within the community, but they're actually making a visit here so we can actually start to talk about how we can push that forward and other things. So this is the first visit, and I hope to include the interview in the second one. So these are all positive things. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. Yes, ma'am.
Another positive is a lot of people got out to vote for the Kinney Groundwater Conservation District, and we got 2 new board members who support a drought contingency plan, which is the standard for groundwater districts in the state, and that would mean securing a steady water supply for drinking water for the people in the city of Brackett, for ranchers for their wells to continue to flow pump water, and for the spring, the historic spring that draws so many people to our community and supports our local businesses to continue to flow. And so that's a step in the right direction, and I hope that job contingency plan is adopted soon so that we can all feel safe and like our most precious resource is secure.
I'll say something on these. I was at a judge's workshop last week. The desaltation plant they're talking about building in Corpus, they're going to lay 3 96-inch water lines out of Corpus. San Antonio, all the way to Bleaks, all the way to Amarillo. Well, I understand. I asked to get on the email chain of that and start. But some of that would come to San Antonio and would turn and come towards Medina County, up towards Hondo this way, and then they'll send a lot of that water back to the north. That's a desaltation plant that the state's looking at doing to provide water back up through the deals, but I have not heard anything about that. What I have been hearing on and attending is this Highway 90 project. I've been attending several of those meetings, and Hondo and Castroville want a loop around their cities, a bypass. And so they asked TxDOT to do that for them. I simply asked TxDOT, please do not loop around us. Keep it coming through our community. But do it kind of like Alpine. Let the loop maybe be westbound traffic and eastbound traffic be the original highway or something. But if they looped around us, that would be very, very detrimental to our mom and pop shops and our tourism and our districts and stuff. So I've attended quite a few of those meetings and stuff. They're kind of out the gate already to do it. It's 4 lanes of Highway 90 from Van Horn all the way to San Antonio. But from Castroville to Houston, it's 6 lanes for Highway 90. And their intention is to hopefully get the lighter traffic off of I-10 and put it down through here on Highway 90 and leave the big truck traffic on I-10 is their goal here, is what they're hoping for. But that from Lawson Air Force Base to the Valley County line, that's kind of how the starting blocks are already from what I've been told, but the funding hasn't been secured yet to do that. So I'm very anxious and paying lots of attention to the meetings when we have them, whether they're Zoom or in person. If they're in person, I'm going because I want them to see that, hey, we need that highway traffic. We need that traffic through our community still. We're not like Hondo or Castro. We're not asking for it to go around. Medina County judge told me several months ago they're expecting 4,000 new rooftops in Medina County in the next 36 months. And I'm like, where are you going to get the water? That was my first question to him. He goes, I don't know. But if they do this desaltation plant, my understanding of Corpus, it would then go, like say it's 3 96-inch lines. Those are 8 foot in diameter. That's a tremendous amount of water. Tremendous amount of dirt's got to be moved just to get an 8-foot line in the ground. You know, but those are the things that I try to stay in touch. That I knew nothing about, so I asked Judge Lucius to tell me a little bit about the Medina County judge, and I said, hey, I need to get on that email chain. I need to be involved in that to know what's happening there on that stuff, that kind of deal. But that's I believe it's a New Aces River Authority project that they're kind of spearheading that deal. In the water line, we kind of, you think, wow, that's a lot of easements and right-of-ways and so forth like that, but they're talking about mainly using the corridor and the highways that the state already owns, the easements and so forth, laying this line down through that area and stuff, because that's kind of, we visited a little bit more about it. Other than that, Travis, I'd love to meet with him when UMC comes to visit those folks and stuff and everything and so forth. Everybody that sits up here, we share the same thing that Commissioner Ward shared with you today, that we're passionate about our community. We want to work together. We want to be positive and do positive things. And the county, for us, the county is kind of the driving force to spearhead some of these projects and get some things done, whether it's within the city limits, here, or the city of Spofford, or whatever the case may be, to try to help those cities and so forth like that. But then also our residents outside those what we consider a municipality here. So please come by and visit. Call. Most everybody's got my phone number. I'm here almost every day of the week, so I'm pretty easy to find. Pretty involved. So, I don't have
Judge, if I may, since Summer President participated in the conversation, I appreciate the high esteem you hold me, but I assure you I don't make water run uphill. And there were those that got on and said that I was going to make water run uphill to my place, that I would benefit. Well, I don't make water run uphill. I have no interest in any drainage water whatsoever. You know who you are. Some of you are seated here today. It's shameful. The next thing is, we commissioners are paid basically the same salary. I happen to be on the bottom end because I haven't been in as long as some, as far as longevity is concerned. But we all make the same salary. We don't get paid for working on buildings. We don't get paid extra for anything. If you have a doubt about that before you disseminate that kind of information, come and ask. Come to the auditor's office. See what we get paid. Get the truth before you race about the community, spreading lies and rumors. And I'm calling you out on it. You're sitting here today, and you know who you are. It needs to stop. It's shameful. And to just vilify people and demonize them is a horrible, horrible thing. And then to run and sit on the front row at church, I don't have a lot of patience for people like that. If you've got something to say to me, say it to my face.
Commissioner Ward, I'm sorry, I felt as if that was an invitation to speak. You appeared to be looking over in my direction. I'm happy that you spoke forward or earlier and said that none of this is to include Fort Clark, and I think that's a wonderful clarification for the day. but I did, I mean, since, you know, it's, the wheels are turning or whatever, I do believe last month, it was said that, there is, you know, an illicit water crossing at, you know, the Travis and the, Scales Road. The McLaren was not brought up, so, at any rate, you know, this all is hinging on the Dirksen engineering plan that was stated to be as a living instrument in the last previous, right, you know, in the plan that, you know, when all of us saw it, you know, none of us liked it, right? It's a bad plan, right? And such, and we, you know, have it on good authority that, you know, that if one of these pieces of the plan is not in place, that the plan isn't to not work, right? Well, you know, I was just wondering, I mean, you know, when y'all brought up last 2 weeks ago, the Scale Street and the Travis Road, right? Because they have culverts that are in, you know, like concrete or whatever. Is it now you're stating that you're working forward into the plan in such a way, the Dirksen engineering plan in such a way that none of it is going to be on the Fort Clark property, no removal of dirt or anything?
I think we've said that.
Okay, well, that's what I was just, because it was brought up about the Scales Bridge and the Travis Bridge, you know, and then. Oh, okay, well, yes, sir.
Conversation.
And I believe this is where a lot of the conversation, like a lot of the conspiracy theories, as you would say, right? Yes, originate from, is because, you know, y'all in way back when, you know, said like, you know, we're not going with this Dirksen's, you know, but it will serve as a living instrument should we want to go forward with something, right? Like, you know, some sort of skeleton or whatever, right? But whenever y'all brought it up last 2 weeks, it was, well, the brick came around in 2 months and we dropped the brick and we want to pick up this brick again, right? So, and it was the Dirksen that you picked right back up, and that includes, you know, like a linear retention pond in front, right in front, you know, where everybody uses to park for, like, you know, county events and stuff like that, you know, or whatever, like that grass line there, you know, big old linear retention pond there and stuff, and, you know, carving out trapezoidal channels into the Lost Morris on Fort Clark property, and actual, you know, like a part of the engineering plan is to utilize that easement space to scoop out the dirt and, you know, do other such with that, right? You know, the actual loss of land. So what I'm wondering is, like, how much of that physical, like, how long is it? Like some 100 and some odd pages or whatever, the actual engineering document?
It's mostly maps.
Yeah, it's mostly maps or whatever, but, you know, like how much of that is going to serve as a living instrument going forward, so we can dispel all of the fear-mongering and the conspiracy theories and the untruths that may come forward out of any decision here today.
Thank you, Henry.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, any further discussion?
Well, I was asking. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to re-interject, but it didn't sound like we're moving forward. If any other commissioners do have answers to any of the questions that I brought up, I would love to hear them. If you are going to move forward,
We're gonna move forward with the Fort
Yes,
Clark
sir.
plan and not in our intentions. We're gonna help the city with their.
Yes, sir.
They got, you know, say, hey, they're willing to help and willing to do a little cleanup of the creek. We're gonna address the dam issue first and work on, you know, cleaning up the security or fitting our erosion and stuff with the dam issue and stuff and everything, because that's where NRS is our, kind of oversees that for us and stuff.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, item H this morning is discuss the possible action regarding the settlement terms with Kroger and authorizing the county judge or other authorized official to execute the settlement participation and release forms regarding statewide settlement offers in the matter of Texas statewide opioid multi-district litigation for the county in the matter of natural prescription opiate litigation, NDL number 117-MD-022804. This is an annual deal still currently happening. We get a small opioid settlement from a lawsuit from years ago. And this is just our standardized deal of authorizing me to be here to execute in our seven participation agreements. So moved by Commissioner Dodson, second by Commissioner McCullough. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. 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 Motion carries unanimously. All right. Item 5, Commissioner's previous minutes. We have none. Item 6, Departmental Budget Adjustments and Review and Amend for 2024-2025. Have none this morning. Archer. Approve the bills and disbursements as acted with Kinney County Detention Center. Motion on the detention center, motion made by Commissioner Dotson. Second by Commissioner McCullough. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Then item 7 is approve and pay the bills or disbursements after the Kinney County, oh, that's the one we just did. Item 7. Item 8, examine and ratify and approve all claims and bills, including payroll, for Kinney County budget 2024-2025. You have those in front of you this morning.
We have copies of the prioritization that was approved for the mitigation projects, and we would like for any and all to have a copy. They'll be right here. Before you leave, just take one with you.
Make sure we move number 7 to number 1. The dams, make sure we move that to number 1. That's second by Commissioner Ward. Alright, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. I would note that Commissioner Dotson abstains from the payment to the hardware store. Alright, item 9 this morning, discussion of other items pertaining to county business, what so forth. We'll have community Thanksgiving again this year at the Civic Center, Community Center. Lunch will be served from 11 to 1. So if you're in town or something like that, or you want to swing by, we'll have all of the fixings and everything. Mark and Isabel will have prepared a lot of green beans, turkey, the ham, and so forth for that. We'll do that again this year. Last year, we delivered about 75 meals and fed about 400 folks that came by. So this year, I believe we're already up to about 85 meals to be delivered. Our homebound meal deliveries from the nutrition center that are regular homebound meals, we'll deliver those meals, but then we'll also take meals to the Border Patrol Station, Sheriff's Office, the Housing Project, and whoever else is signed up to have and ask for a delivery meal. So that'll take place this Thursday at the community center, day of Thanksgiving. All right. Had a good seminar, good training last week. As you know, Rick's office, the clerk's office, the attorney's office, and my office all attended LGS training up around Dallas. Irving up there last week. So hopefully that went well. Everybody made it home safely and everything. Wish everybody a safe and happy Thanksgiving, safe travels and so forth like that. But no other discussion. We're going to take a short break. Say that about 10:10, 10:15. A little break, and we'll go into executive session. Item F. Personnel matters also be discussed. Pursuant to 551.074, the government code where to discuss personnel matters and or issues. And executive session also will be closed pursuant to 551.071, 551.121, the government code to consult by attorney, or commissioner's court consult seeking advice from attorney regarding any matters surrounding this agenda posted. So with that being said, we'll call it 10:05 and we'll adjourn. We'll go to recess, recess at 10:05. We'll come back in the executive session about 10:15.
Run.